My name's Steve Farmer. The name of our properties are Mount Elsa. I guess a lot of the traditional way of selecting bulls over the years, and still in large part done now, is just purely a visual assessment. People go along to a bull sale and they generally buy a big fat shiny bull without really knowing what's under the hood of that bull. They've really got no idea of what the genetics of that animal are. We use breed plan or EBVs in our seed stock and also in selecting size for our commercial operation. EBV stands for estimated breeding value. It's measuring the genetics and it's measuring what we can't see. So it takes all the feeding and the variables out of the equation and it explains what their genetic potential of that animal is. When we're selecting our bulls, we won't always find the highest growth and the highest fertility bull. We try and get a balance across all those traits. The EBV can be used with programs like MateCell, where you can get the estimated breeding values of the female and also the bull and match those two together to do a designer breeding. So for example, you might have a bull that's very high in growth but has only average fertility data, whereas a female might be the other way around. So by matching those two together, we're trying to balance out that progeny or improve that progeny. The VBBSE stands for Veterinary Bull Breeding Soundness Evaluation, which is basically the assessment of the bull's breeding and soundness as done by an accredited vet. They go through quite a stringent physical appraisal of the animal, looking at the head and eyes, feet and leg structure, sheath structure, and then they can do an internal examination of the internal sex organs, scrotal measurement. They then collect a sample of semen to do what they call a morphology test on that, which determines the percent normal within that semen sample. And then we can use that data for then doing our sales and for selecting our own seed stock in what we're trying to do as well. So for us, they're both important tools in selecting our future sires. Commercial cattle producers can use EBVs quite simply. It's just another tool in most sale catalogues these days, and once commercial producers have the knowledge of how to use them, it's quite simple to pick up a catalogue and have an idea of what that bull's genetics are. Quality data going into EBVs and going into breed plan is a very important thing, and I think it's probably important also that commercial producers look for those herds and those seed stock herds that have integrity in their data. People can find a lot more information out about EBVs and breed plans through Future Beef websites, also the Tropical Beef Breeding Services up in Northern Australia, and certainly also most breed societies have a fair bit of knowledge and information on breed plan and EBVs as well. We enjoy using the breed plan because it's reassuring us that the growth we're making within our herd, we can see through measuring the genetics to actually know that the genetics in those animals is improvement on what they've been in previous years. It gives us confidence knowing that we're going forward in the right direction. Because at the end of the day, all a bull really is a semen factory to pass on half of his genetics to his progeny. So that's what's really important to us.